I'm Ivan Rana and welcome to Spain. Enjoy my whole time. Okay.
Welcome to Madrid, Spain for round 6 of the 2006 ITU World Cup Series. We're in the heart of the city for today's race, and the competition promises to be fierce. Vanessa Fernandez is on a roll with 8 straight World Cup victories under her belt, but this week she's racing closer to home and is focused on win number 9.
It's close to Portugal, so it'll be the first time my parents will be here. When I win my first World Cup, they was very happy. So I said, well, because my parents never go to any World Cup I do, so it's very far sometimes, so they can't go. So for tomorrow, I said, well, it's good if you want to come because it's a beautiful place and beautiful people and a crowd on every course of the race. So. Will be good, and my father said, yeah, of course I will go, but I'm happy for they come. Every race I do is everything for preparation for the Olympics, so every race are important, and after that, before and after this race, every races are important. So of course for tomorrow will be another game and a new game for the Olympic Games in Beijing.
Joelle Fransman is a World Cup veteran with 2 podium finishes already this season, but she's currently focused on a race 2 years away.
2000 was the first Olympics, and I was there, and I was 2004 in Athens, and so I want to go to Beijing and improve my place from the last 2 years. And yeah, this is the first competition, and we all try to earn points and do the qualification. That's our big. Yeah, we all want this. I think that's nearly impossible to beat her because she's a very strong biker too. She's so fast in running, very strong in biking, and her swim is good too. And so it's very hard when I think all the time when she's on the bike, oh yeah, she will be first. And so I think it's nearly impossible to beat her, even if you do it as a group. I don't know. Perhaps we have to try this, but I don't know.
One young athlete making a name for herself on the World Cup circuit this season is Andrea Hewitt, who's climbed onto the podium twice already.
I'm just going about the way that I've been going since the start. I'm just improving every race, and hopefully I'll keep improving. I'm still learning every race. It's about tactics, I think, at the moment. I'm still learning how the cycling goes and how to save myself for the last 10k run. I haven't raced on a tough course, I don't think, yet. The New Plymouth World Cup was the first race I had hills in, so yeah, it's just going to be a learning experience. The World Champs in Lausanne is going to be my main focus this year, so I'm just doing these races to build up for that. And yeah, I'm not racing back-to-back races this season. I'm just trying to just get into racing every second week or so.
Now let's take a look at the challenging Madrid course athletes will face today, starting off with a 2-lap freshwater lake swim. The second stage of the race takes athletes out onto a challenging 8-lap bike course that many consider one of the toughest on tour. It's this stage of the race that will test the athletes' leg endurance and heat tolerance, as the hot summer temperatures could be a factor. The final stage is an out-and-back 4-lap run course that also includes some challenging hills. It's a historic day for triathlon in Madrid, as this event marks the start of the 2008 Olympic qualification cycle. It's also the event where the International Triathlon Union announced a new worldwide partnership with the BG Group, the new title sponsor for the entire World Cup Series. So here's a few names to watch out for in today's race, with Vanessa Fernandez, of course, providing the main focus on the women's side as she looks to make it 9 victories in a row. Now here's Barry Shepley with today's race.
The largest women's field ever to start a World Cup triathlon. And it is a fair start. They'll do 2 laps, 750 meters each. And the real push is to get to that first swim buoy just over 200 meters down. The athletes have started at different times throughout this 2006 season. Some of them coming from Australia and New Zealand, where they're well into their season. Others from Europe, where this will be their first major event. Very quickly going up front, the American swimmer, Sarah Gruff. Last year, she made her World Cup debut right here in Madrid. She came out of the water first, eventually dropped on the bike, but she certainly has learned a lot in the last 12 months. Joining her very close behind, her teammate Sarah Haskin. Into that lead group as well for Tani from Japan. Joel Franzman sitting back in 4th place as our lead women go through the first 150 meters here in Madrid. Major disappointment last year when Madrid was dropped from the 2012 Olympic game final selection, but we raced here just weeks before that final decision was made. The women very powerfully going through the water right now, and Joel Franzman, the 2-time Olympian from Germany, second this year at both the World Cup race in Doha and Aqaba. She's in great form, took some time to go back to Europe, and now hoping to get back on the podium. The Germans are here with a very powerful team, as are many of the other nations, and as the women come towards the end of the first 750 meters, you can see how closely they are bunched together. The swim preem will be at the 750 meter mark. They'll come right up onto the pontoon. The first back into the water will be the swim preem winner, and you can see the women very tightly bunched as they come through, and right now it is Sarah Gruff who once again will claim another swim preem. Whether she'll be able to hang on to the bike and run, we'll find out shortly. Haskin just behind her for Tani coming out of the water. I can see into that group Franzman having a great swim, and also joining them into that lead group, Harrison Hewitt from New Zealand into that group, the young Portuguese athlete in there as well. But noticeably back is Vanessa Fernandez, who was about 15 or 16 seconds behind at the end of 750 meters. They're into their second lap here, and the two Americans trying a small breakaway right now. And we've seen this many times in the past where both Sheila Taramina and Barb Lindquist, two of the Americans, able to break away and make a sizable gap on a tough course. And right now, as the Americans Sarah Gruff and Sarah Haskin really push the pace, the rest of the field starting to get strung out behind them. The athletes having their first opportunity today in Madrid to start to qualify for the Beijing Olympic Games. It'll be a 2-year period taking us into the spring of 2008. And you can see they're still very tightly bunched together as they start to come through that last 200 meters. It'll be about a 150-meter run as they come out of the water on the pontoon, and just out over 19 minutes now is Sarah Gruff, Haskin just beside her. For Tani from Japan, Franzman just out of the water right there. DeMarco, she's had a great swim from Switzerland. Hewitt and Harrison, Tucker Piltz into that group. Jasmine Onik as well, and they've got about a 150-meter run. You can see the top of the screen. They're coming underneath the showers towards the bottom. The gap now back, and still Franzman as well, leading into that big group. And now just at the bottom of the screen, coming out of the water, that's the young Portuguese athlete, Vanessa Fernandez, and she's back by about 20 seconds. She's going to have a very fast run in a transition if she wants to join that lead group at the top of the screen. They have had an outstanding swim, and now they're trying to gap themselves, knowing that they're getting away from the 3-time winner here in Madrid. It has been a very fast swim. On the right of the screen, you can see Fernandez just going underneath the showers. Our leaders already in the transition zone, and now heading out onto the bike. And it'll be Sarah Haskin first out onto the bike. Tucker just seconds behind. Franzman as well into that group. Mayan's the young Portuguese athlete. She's had a great swim, but her countrywoman is coming up from behind and is going to have to make up some time throughout the transition zone. It's that sizable hill, and it's Sarah Haskin breaking away here very early on a group of about 8 or 9 athletes. Harrison from France into that group. Hewitt from New Zealand into there as well for Tani from Japan. And as you look at the top of the screen, that is Vanessa Fernandez, the woman who has won on this course all 3 times, realizing she has a big job ahead of her as the first time her parents get to see her race.
After the swim, it was American Sarah Gruff with a small lead ahead of the other strong swimmers in the field and 2 of the strongest cyclists, Franzman and DeMarco Mesmer. Andrea Hewitt was just 7 seconds back, while another 30 seconds back, Vanessa Fernandez was mounting her attack.
They've had a blisteringly open time now, and Sarah Haskin, who is second in Tampa Bay, is trying to use her very powerful swim bike skills on this tough course to make a break. You can see the gap now back to our chase group. They're down by about 15 seconds. Just going through was DeMarco. That's Tucker just coming through the group as well. Christine Pilz from Germany into this group, as well as Franzmann. So the Germans well established here through the early stages of this 8-lap bike course. It is an absolutely perfect day, and we look back now to our chase group, and that is Vanessa Fernandez, who is trying to pull along, and we would anticipate she will likely have to pull many people to catch up to this lead group. But she has ridden solo through one whole lap. Sarah Haskins from the United States of America, one of the new breed of Americans right there. And as we look back to the transition zone, you can see the chase group. They're only down by about 11 seconds. Haskins likely would be smart to drop back into this group and try to work together with these very powerful cyclists. And as they head back up to the hill one more time, Sarah Haskin, the very, very talented young American, does her training with some of the top young American athletes. And as she rises up through the 10% grade, we now look back to our chase group, and they are down by about 25 seconds. So Vanessa Fernandez has not taken any time out of the leaders in this first lap. The heat's starting to come down, but it's absolutely picture perfect, about 26 degrees Celsius today, so certainly not the heat that we had last year that was 35 plus and humid. And as Sarah Haskin being led by our motorcycles, the chase group now likely to be catching on. DeMarco into that group right now. Harrison in the blue outfit just going through us for Tani in the black from Japan. And they are just about to catch on to Sarah Haskin, who has worked incredibly hard through this opening stages of the 2006 World Cup race. Here come the chase group, and they are about to catch our leader. We are into the second lap. It'll be Bike Preem when they get back into the transition zone, and DeMarco in the red right there, a very smart athlete. As our leaders come through, they will have to come back into the transition zone. At the end of laps 2 and 7 will be the Bike Preems, and DeMarco has done this on a number of occasions. Coming for the Bike Preem right now, it is DeMarco, the bronze medalist from the 2000 Olympic Games, pushing the pace. And Magali Mesmer DeMarco, the mother, takes the first of the Bike Preems here. She looks over her shoulder. Haskins now back into that group, and they look like they are very motivated to try to stay ahead of the young Portuguese athlete, Vanessa Fernandez. A tremendous amount of organization to put this course together, many walkovers so that spectators, and it looks like a crash right there. That is Franzmann, who is down. Joel Franzmann from Germany is down. We can remember her crash back to the 2005 Hamburg race, and right now our chase group of athletes are coming, and look at the pack that Vanessa Fernandez is pulling. She will be a train, and those other athletes will benefit significantly. We're back right now to Franzmann, who looks like she's holding maybe her wrist. And that is not good, because the German athlete had some great form here early in the 2006 season. It's Andrea Hewitt right now from New Zealand as they climb back up into lap 3. And the young Kiwi has just shown some incredible form here early on. It's the Americans still into the slight lead, but they look like they're just about to catch on as the hill one more time will start to zap the legs of these women. It's 8 total laps on this bike course. And we have seen in the past, you have to have the strength to be able to hang on for that very tough 10-kilometer run. Andrea Hewitt, very talented, 23 and under, world champion in just about her 5th race last year in Gamagori. She went on to star this year at the Commonwealth Games with a bronze medal behind the talented Emma Snowsill and Samantha Warner, and she's had a bronze already in Mooloolaba, so in less than a dozen races she has a resume, and right there Vanessa.
I don't know why everyone want to go everyone on the road. I don't know why they don't want to work, because it's better for everyone, you know. If you push together, you don't are tired for the run, but if you push alone, it's a little bit difficult. So sometimes I say, well, what I have to do to put these things in another way. So I put my pace, and some girls help, like Dollinger and Spirig sometimes, but and some girls don't want to push.
Well, I think it's well said. Vanessa Fernandez certainly wants to push, and as she has worked so hard to try to catch that lead group, right now Andrea Hewitt is going off the front. So as Vanessa Fernandez comes into that pack, it is Andrea Hewitt going off the front, and we are seeing an incredibly dynamic women's bike ride. Andrea Hewitt, the 23-year-old from New Zealand, the world 23 and under champion, is breaking away right now from the lead group, and just in the back of the screen, the chase athletes, and just behind them, they'll be coming in very quickly into the transition zone, will be Vanessa Fernandez and her athletes. So right now it's Hewitt now trying to stir things up, and you can see that about 8 to 9 second gap back to Vanessa Fernandez, who very, very well said, look, these other women have to do their job. Andrea Hewitt off the front right now, Andrea Whitcomb into this chase group, as well as Anya Dittmar. And as our chase women will start to go back up the hill that has been zapping the legs, it looks like Sarah Haskin has broken away from the leaders, and we now have 2 women into the group, Andrea Hewitt, Sarah Haskin, and Haskin certainly has shown her biking ability as she has ridden early on in the lead, and now she has broken away one more time. It's 2 women, Andrea Hewitt from New Zealand, Sarah Haskin from United States, and those 2 women now have gapped away from the field. So just as Vanessa Fernandez will start to pull into that lead group, she'll have one more obstacle, and that's these 2 women who are climbing this hill very well here in Madrid. Our chase group now having all come together, so Vanessa Fernandez has done her job. I'm not so sure that she even knows these 2 women will have broken away. Hewitt on the left in the black outfit, and we can see now our chase group of athletes just coming through there in a picture-perfect day here in Madrid. Up and driving on the legs right there, it is Andrea Hewitt who will come through to have our bike preem number 2 at the end of lap number 7. So they'll go out for the bell lap, and that gap now is over a minute and climbing. So the 2 athletes have over 60 seconds with one more lap to go. We now go back to the main chase group, and I'm not sure that Vanessa Fernandez knows that those 2 athletes have broken away. She's sitting in the middle of that pack right now, seeming very content, and I think she may believe that she's in that lead group. We're looking at Sarah Haskin, who is second out of the water, Andrea Hewitt, who is into that lead group, taking on a little bit of fluid because they're going to need it for this 4-lap, 10-kilometer run. And here come the chase group, and in that group will include Jessica Harrison, Helen Tucker, Christine Piltz, Jasmine Onik as well into that group. Joel Franzman went down early on a bike crash, and they're now just coming off the bike. Just a very amazing ride there for Andrea Hewitt and Sarah Haskin, and they will be absolutely elated to realize it's just the 2 of them as they head out to start their 4-lap, 10-kilometer run. It may be a surprise for a number of the athletes who came into that second chase group when they came together to realize when they get in the transition zone, there'll already be 2 bikes. And heading off first, it's Andrea Hewitt. Sarah Haskin from the U.S. heading off right now, and the 2 women will go by a very supportive crowd as the white headband on from the all-black athlete. A great swimming bike so far from Andrea Hewitt. She took the second of the bike preems. Sarah Haskin not able to run, I don't think, at the ability of Andrea Hewitt. Right now, she would absolutely love to be able to steal a podium here in Madrid. And as Haskin heads off, we'll start to see the bikers come around the corner, and that gap is now over a minute and 30 seconds, so it'll be close. There they are, about 1 minute and 40 seconds, the gap. And as the athletes now come off the bikes, you're looking at the top of the screen of Andrea Hewitt, certainly having a very outstanding run right now here early on. She'll be motivated to stay up ahead. And on the right side of the screen, a group of about 20 athletes coming off, including Vanessa Fernandez into that chase group, including DeMarco from Switzerland, Tucker from Great Britain will be into that group as well, Nora from Spain into that group, and they are now coming off to start their 4-lap, 10-kilometer run, and they're going to have to make up a tremendous amount of time. If Vanessa Fernandez wants to be the only woman to have ever won here, she is going to have an absolutely tenacious run because they are down by under 2 minutes, but it is a huge gap, and Andrea Hewitt is running very well at the top of the screen. There in the silver outfit, it is the Wonder Woman, Vanessa Fernandez, who is taking off Andrea Hewitt back into the group. You can also see Anna Burgos into that group trying to come after them as they're going through. Helen Tucker as well.
After a gutsy breakaway, Andrea Hewitt and Sarah Haskins entered the second transition with a 1 minute 45-second lead. Race favorite Vanessa Fernandez was back in the chase pack, but with her run, the lead was well in range.
Hewitt continuing to push the pace, and Sarah Haskin has run very well to keep her in sight. The duo who led for the last section of the bike course have an absolutely motivated Portuguese athlete coming up from behind. Now we look into 4th and 5th place. Burgos into that group right now. Helen Tucker sitting into the group as well. And as our athletes in 4 through 7 come through, the battle now is to see whether or not Vanessa Fernandez is able to run down Andrea Hewitt. And here she comes underneath the shade trees here in Madrid, one of the most beautiful parks you're ever going to see in the world, right in the middle of a massive major city. And as Vanessa Fernandez shows the tenacity we have seen so often, you can see there in the backdrop, she is about to capture up to Sarah Haskin and Andrea Hewitt running incredibly hard right now up front. It's Jessica Harrison from France, and she is having an outstanding run in blue. But here she comes, the place she believes belongs to her, and now into 2nd place is Vanessa Fernandez running through Sarah Haskin, who's having a great run, but you can see the difference in the turnover and the stride rate. It is Vanessa Fernandez now with only one woman in sight, and that is Andrea Hewitt, and you can see now having closed the gap. This is almost to the 5-kilometer mark, so Hewitt has done a great job to hold off Vanessa Fernandez. Looking back into 3rd place right now, Sarah Haskin doing her best to try to hang into 3rd, but I think the inevitable is about to happen as Vanessa Fernandez, not even looking over her shoulder, with a very forceful move, now goes into 1st place, and let's see if Andrea Hewitt is able to go with her. Anna Burgos right now in 3rd place as she passes Sarah Haskin, and Haskin doing her best right now to try to hang on for a top 10, and that would be a superb performance by the young American. And as the motivated crowd sends off Burgos, who's sitting into 3rd place, we look across to the other side and we can see both the young Portuguese heading through. It's Anna Burgos, bronze here in Madrid last year. She had a great performance, 2nd at the World Cup race in Hamburg in the past. She's been 5th in Mazatlan as well. And the outstanding running of Anna Burgos right now, she may be able to even get herself up to 2nd. She loves the heat, and she'll have the home crowd to push her on. But it is the young Portuguese who has absolutely dominated here on the day. She has been phenomenal in the run. Vanessa Fernandez, the 20-year-old, won here in 2003, 2004, 2005, and she will now add 4 consecutive victories, 9 consecutive wins in a row on the World Cup circuit. Vanessa Fernandez is going to bring it home with an unbelievable finish time. A superb run by the young Portuguese at the BG Group Madrid World Cup Triathlon 2:06:08, and she will have time to celebrate family and friends there, and look at the elation as the young Portuguese athlete looking for family immediately. And it'll be a breakthrough run as well for Andrea Hewitt, who will have her best ever performance in a World Cup race. The 23 and under world champ will take silver here today in Madrid, 2:06:42 at the BG Group Triathlon, a celebration of 2 outstanding women at the finishing line. And for the 2nd year in a row, the Spanish fans will be elated as it is Anna Burgos bringing it home for the bronze medal. 2 hours, 7 minutes as she will cross the line and celebrate with a home crowd that will be excited for her and will be looking to the men to see if they can get on top of the podium in just a few minutes.
When I catch the group, I don't know that was 2 girls on the front. On the last lap, someone said me, come on Vanessa, you have to push because there is 2 girls on the front with 1:30. What? Yeah, I never saw that. I never think about that. So when I put the feet on the road, I said, well, I have to do my best. I catch you with
I think I did opposite to what I was supposed to do in the race. What my coach had talked about before was to try to not work on the bike and concentrate on the run, but it just didn't work out that way. After the swim, I was in the front group and the girls just weren't really working up the hill, and I think we had a minute at the start and it went down to 30 seconds, and each time we went up the hill I thought I was feeling strong, so I tried a couple times, I think on the 3rd lap and then on the 5th lap when Sarah came with me, we got away, and it was yeah, it was in front from then, and the run, it's so hard to run by yourself, but I managed, and when Vanessa came past, I tried to hang with her, but I felt comfortable out there. It was a good race.
First place is very, very okay for me. It's my third podium in World Cup.
So a great podium finish for Spain's Ana Burgos in front of a hometown crowd, just 52 seconds behind champion Vanessa Fernandez. And another podium finish for newcomer Andrea Hewitt, who continues to impress. But now it's time to look ahead to the men's race coming up next.